and taken successfully. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. First and 10 here for Flacco. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. Kamar Aiken, the intended receiver. And that'll make it 2nd and 10. The wide receivers, often a very, very talented group, and that's the case here.
And they don't mind showcasing it either. Those guys love to be flashy, love to make big plays out in the open field. They will attempt to do so in this game.
Second and 10. Flacco once more. And he comes back with one complete. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. It'll be a gain of 6, and they're going to have a 3rd down.
In recent years, the slot receivers really gained stature in the NFL because they can do so many things. Yes, they can line up wide like your normal wide receiver, but to have that kind of courage and toughness to run routes in the middle of the field and become dependable targets for their quarterbacks and move the sticks, those guys are worth their weight in gold.
First down. This is 4th down. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. And the offense there, the O-line, everybody really on offense, they were just manhandled at the point of attack.
Yeah, you could pretty much call them all out, couldn't you? Almost by name, right? That was a very tough sequence for the offensive line. But how about that defensive front, creating a new line of scrimmage and creating a lost yardage possibility?
And they're behind the sticks here a bit now, dealing with a 2nd and 12. Barely got that snap off. Flacco now. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off down the numbers. There he goes. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Cowboy defense has a touchdown.
Partner, I know it's hard to believe, but sometimes guys who are built with the dimension of linebackers can actually get lost from sight by the quarterback.
Well, they're usually not the tallest guys.
So, yeah, that allows them sometimes to kind of hide down in there, kind of get a little bit lower, and maybe he just never saw him. But, boy, he sure wishes he had. He picked it off and ran it all the way back for a touchdown.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Here comes the Raven offense now, ready for another possession. Aiken, the man in motion. They start on the ground with 4th down. And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. Second quarter now. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis with you. It's the Ravens who have the football, but they face a 2nd and long to start things out. The draw from Flacco. It's 4th down. And he'll be brought down here at the 28. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to bring up a 3rd and about 7 left.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
Third down, Flacco from the gun. And he's got a man open. That's Allen. And he's brought down after a good gain. And a nice gain at 21 yards. So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels. They'll run it here. This is Buck Allen. And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much as he's down to the 48. The linebacker, Anthony Hitchens, there on the stop.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
Play fake to Forsett. Now Flacco. Flushed out right. Wide open receiver complete. So Steve Smith involved there, and the Ravens are likely, Charles, going to need him to get even more involved with Ben Watson out for the season now.
And normally when you have a guy who announced that a season was going to be his last, as Steve Smith did in 2015, when you have that guy come back, you don't expect big-time production, but you and I both know that Steve Smith is the exception to that. So I agree with you. His production will go up, and he will definitely take some of the pressure off of the loss of Benjamin Watson.
Just a 1-yard pickup on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
So many things have to come together just right for a screen pass to break for big yardage. The blocking, the timing of the pass to the runner, everything has to fit together just right. But on that play, the defense was able to disrupt things and hold it to a short gain.
On 2nd down, Forsett, and they'll get him down right around the 16. Just a couple on the ground there, and that's going to bring up 3rd and about 6.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense, and guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
7th play of the drive upcoming here on 3rd and 6. Flacco from the gun. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
As tight ends go, he might not provide the super flashy plays very often, but he's...
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. They'll break the huddle here and go for it. This is 4th down. They're going to try it. Here's Flacco. A dump off for Dixon. And he's got the first down as he gets it to the 8. Give him 8 on the play, and the decision to go for it pays off. They've got a 1st and goal. The offense operating inside the 10 at the 8 here. It's 1st and goal. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal. Two minutes to go here in the first half. We're back to Baltimore after this. Long drive. The defense just cannot seem to catch a break and get off the field. Second down, Flacco now. And this is incomplete. Mike Wallace, the intended receiver. And that'll make it 3rd and goal.
All defenders get tired of hearing about their lack of hands and why they're playing defense instead of offense. But in this situation, it was the hands that made the play. Batting the ball away on an attempted touchdown pass, excellent job. Way to knock it down.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is going to lose yardage here. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4.
Okay, offense, you've gotten down close, but it's still just the second quarter. I say take the 3 points. Plenty of game left to play.
Here's Justin Tucker now for the Raven field goal try. And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. And they will indeed get on the board here, but still trailing. It's now 13 to 3. So they get 3. They were hoping for 6. An unlucky number 13 play drive.
Well, you go to the sideline after putting 3 points on the board, happy, but you wanted to be ecstatic. You wanted to have 6 on the board. On the opposite sideline, though, the defense, I think they're high-fiving each other, only giving up 3 after letting them run that much offense.
Now the Cowboys offense heads back onto the field. And a 3-and-out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out with a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go.
Over. Let's go.
They start on the ground with Elliott. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. Off the corner. Where'd he come from? Well, I guess he came off the corner, but really nice play.
I like when you're able to pose a question and answer it at the same time. That's exactly where he came from, but it's not something that you normally see. Most of the time, we're thinking about those guys covering pass catchers. In this case,
And now the Ravens are going to take another timeout. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Here's Romo. And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, second down.
And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop.
2nd and 10. Romo once more. He finds his target, Terrence Williams. And he is taken down deep in Baltimore territory. A big play there just before halftime. 46 yards. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Now the offense lining up 1st and 10. Now a first down throw, Romo. And they're not able to hook up there, incomplete. He was looking for Terrence Williams that time. And it'll be 2nd and 10.
I think that's a big-time play there because the slant route is really hard to cover because the timing is so quick. But able to see it, diagnose it, and get to the football, that's why he was able to bat it away.
Unable to connect on the first down pass play. Now it's 2nd down. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Back to the air they go. Romo on, and he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Terrence Williams from 10 yards out. And the Cowboys will add on to their lead.
I heard a coach talk about those late